We've all seen or at least heard about the horror film Get Out, where a central theme involved the process of a character's consciousness being displaced into the body of an unwilling subject. A scary thought indeed. Now, what if we told you that the concept of transferring consciousness won't be confined to the reels of Hollywood for much longer? You're probably picturing a sci-fi scenario where a brilliant yet somewhat mad scientist hooks you up to an ominous machine. There's a bright flash of light, and the next thing you know, you're staring out of someone else's eyes. While that might be good for a Saturday night movie, the reality of consciousness transfer, or as it's scientifically known, whole brain emulation, is quite different and, frankly, far more fascinating. A living brain is essentially a network of neurons firing electrical signals. The theory goes, if we can map this network in its entirety, understand how these signals translate to thoughts, memories, and personality, and replicate this network and its functioning in a machine, we could essentially transfer a person's consciousness. This concept is called a connectome, a detailed wiring diagram of the brain, including the connections between each neuron and how they transmit information. The most successful instance of creating one of these has been with a tiny nematode known as C. elegans. Its brain contains only 302 neurons and around 7,000 synapses, making it one of the simplest known brains. In 2014, OpenWorm, an international open science project, successfully mapped this connectome and used it to simulate the worm's nervous system in a Lego robot. The robot exhibited behavior similar to that of a living C. elegans, moving towards or away from stimuli. While this is a great achievement, the leap from a C. elegans to a human is colossal. The human brain contains approximately 86 billion neurons and a quadrillion synapses. Moreover, the brain isn't a static entity. It constantly changes and reorganizes itself, creating new connections and letting old ones decay. This phenomenon is known as neuroplasticity. Any attempt to map and replicate the brain will have to account for this dynamism. Another significant hurdle is understanding how these neural connections give rise to thoughts, emotions, consciousness, and sense of self. These are aspects of what's known as the hard problem of consciousness, a term coined by philosopher David Chalmers in 1995. It refers to the problem of explaining why and how we have qualitative experiences. Although the challenges are immense, researchers are optimistic. With advancements in brain scanning technologies, machine learning algorithms, and increases in computational power, we are inching closer to the possibility of whole brain emulation. Initiatives like the Human Connectome Project and the EU's Human Brain Project aim to unravel the complex network of the human brain, shedding light on the mysteries of our mind. Several researchers and futurists even propose that within this century, we might see the first instances of human mind uploads. Notable futurist and Google's director of engineering, Ray Kurzweil, predicts this possibility by 2045, a time he refers to as the singularity. We made a video that discusses the point of technological singularity in depth. A link to that video will show in a banner above. But let's assume we overcome these technical challenges and successfully transfer consciousness. This will undoubtedly trigger a cascade of ethical, legal, and societal questions, such as, what does it mean to be human if our minds can exist independently of our bodies? Who owns a copied mind, and what rights does it have? How would this technology change our understanding of life and death? These questions elude the fact that the concept of consciousness transfer is not just about the science behind it. It also expands into the realm of philosophy. The philosopher Derek Parfit proposed a thought experiment called the teletransporter. Imagine a machine that can perfectly scan your body, destroying it in the process, but records every detail, every atom, and every neuron connection. This information is then sent to Mars, where another machine uses it to construct a perfect replica of you. The replica has all your memories, your personality, your thoughts. For all intents and purposes, it is you. Now the question Parfit asks is, did you die on Earth and a copy was created on Mars, or did you merely travel to Mars? This thought experiment underscores the paradoxical and mind-boggling nature of consciousness transfer. It illustrates how intertwined the journey to achieve this is with our understanding of identity, selfhood, and what it means to be a human. The traditional view of personal identity is that it's tied to the body. We believe that you are you because you inhabit your body. However, if we could upload our minds, our identities would not necessarily be tied to our bodies anymore. Philosopher Daniel Dennett refers to this as the ship of Theseus problem, named after a thought experiment, where a ship has all its parts replaced one by one. The question being, is it still the same ship? The same question applies to the digital version of yourself. If your mind was copied and run on a computer, the digital version would certainly feel like it was you. It would have your memories, your personality, your thoughts. But what happens if the original biological version of you is still alive? In that case, who is the real you? These existential conundrums are fascinating to contemplate, but they are not mere intellectual exercises. The answers could have profound implications for our legal and moral frameworks. For instance, if a digital copy of a person commits a crime, who should be held responsible? As we grapple with these profound questions, let's journey deeper into the state-of-the-art technologies that could potentially make this a reality. One such technology is brain-computer interfaces. These devices can read brain signals and translate them into commands for a computer or other devices. The company Neuralink is making strides in this area, with the goal of enabling humans to interact seamlessly with machines and perhaps one day upload their consciousness to a computer. Another avenue being explored is quantum computing. Some scientists believe that consciousness might be a quantum process, which would mean that classical computers could never emulate a human mind. Quantum computers, however, could theoretically have this capability. If our consciousness is merely the result of information processing occurring in our brains, then we could theoretically replicate it. This would mean a digital version of your brain, reconstructed from a detailed scan of your actual brain. This digital version would not only replicate the physical structure of your brain, but also the exact state of it at a particular point in time, capturing all your memories, thoughts, and feelings. This is the concept of mind uploading. The idea is that your digital brain could be run on a computer, just like your actual brain runs in your head. You could exist in a virtual reality environment or even control a robotic avatar in the physical world. As ambitious as it sounds, the concept of mind uploading is not merely a sci-fi dream. The Brain Preservation Foundation, for instance, is a non-profit organization that supports research aimed at preserving the information content of the brain using advanced techniques of brain scanning. The idea is that even if we don't yet have the technology to upload a preserved brain, we could put it on ice until such a time when that technology becomes available. However, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Mind uploading presents colossal technological challenges. To replicate the state of a human brain, we would need to map out every single neuron and synapse, of which there are estimated to be around 86 billion and 100 trillion respectively. Even with our most advanced brain imaging technologies, we are still many orders of magnitude away from this level of detail. Nevertheless, these challenges should not dissuade us from the pursuit of understanding and exploring the possibilities. Advancements in consciousness transfer technology do not operate in a vacuum. They mirror the broader evolution of AI and machine learning and are linked to our continual probing of the brain's intricacies. As we build more complex AI, we gain insights that could be invaluable in deciphering the algorithm of the mind to make this a reality. Indeed, it's conceivable that the first artificial consciousness could be born not from a machine, but from a human mind that's been uploaded. It would be the ultimate rendition of the Turing test, Alan Turing's famed thought experiment. If an observer cannot distinguish between a human and an AI, does it mean the AI has achieved human-level intelligence or even consciousness? In many ways, consciousness transfer raises even more questions than it answers. But the pursuit of knowledge has never been about taking the easy road. It's truly about pushing boundaries and venturing to where no one has gone before. With that, this is the end of the video, so thank you for joining us on this fascinating exploration of the future of consciousness transfer technology. Be sure to stay tuned for more thought-provoking content, and if you liked this video, please make sure to subscribe and to hit that like button. As always, stay curious, keep exploring, and let's dive into the mysteries of our universe together.